What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Every Week We Follow. It's the morning after the night before. Aston Villa 4/7, Bologna 0/1. Get in.
All of our
Semi-finals.
heroes are villains. Whole tenders up in the sky. 1982, the claret and blue. I don't know the rest of it. Sorry, Sam. We know our spirit won't die. We know our spirit won't die. I think it is.
Spirit? Or is it something to do with Villa won't die?
Oh, Villa, I'm sorry, Sam.
Sorry, Sam. This is why you need to make sure that champ's nice and short, mate. Because anything beyond that, I think we're going to struggle.
For my teeny tiny brain, mate, three.
That, guys. I feel like that all the Every Week We Follow chanting at the end of it's making your chords warm up. It's making you feel you're getting.
Obviously, we're far from the X Factor, mate, but it's getting slightly better. I'm not getting the usual.
yeah, you don't get the real croaking going on. I'm a bit croaky today. I was shouting a lot yesterday. Obviously, an incredible win, mate. We've been due. I was saying this to Sam. So Sam from Villa Park podcast came to the game with us as well. I was saying to Sam, I was like, we've been due battering a team.
Yeah.
Like when was the last time we just kind of had this easy game, no like real kind of worries at all? I feel like we didn't even really get into third gear. Like we were Bologna, that second goal, mate, just completely collapsed, didn't they?
But Bologna were poor. They were. We. To be fair to us, I'm going to give credit to Matty Cash and John McGinn. We totally nullified their only threat in Jonathan Rowe. I thought Cash was excellent. Got so much closer to him yesterday than he did last week. And after the 17 minutes, mate, once we scored, it was as simple as a game. It was like playing against the League Two, so they looked nowhere near. They looked miles off the pace. We were getting through them at will. Really, it was 4, but if we'd have actually gone for it, like you said, and got out of third gear, we could have won that double digits, mate. It was ridiculous. But what I want to say, mate, start off is that what a fantastic atmosphere it was at Villa Park last night.
It was loud, wasn't it? It was really good, really good. Obviously, we always say an early goal helps. Not only does it help the team and the tie, but it helps the crowd and everything. Mate, it was wonderful, brilliant atmosphere.
Loved it, mate. It's nights like that at Villa Park, and just the build up in terms of going to meet up with Sam and having that little bit of a sing song before the game, but put me in the right kind of headspace. Went into the ground, and it kind of carried on. It did. I thought the atmosphere was superb. And you see the players respond to it, right? You see that, like the celebrations afterwards, like Onana and Watkins get his 100th goal. Like it was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. I'm not getting too carried away, like in terms of it was against a very poor Bologna team, but we've done what we've had to do, and you can only beat what's in front of you. Lots of positives around performances around Tielemans, Onana, McGinn. I think that just works. I think like Onana just looks like a £50 million player with those players around him. We've got a great chance of winning this tournament. It's all about, can we, on the day, if we get to the final, because I think if we beat Forest, and I think over 2 legs, I think it's possible over 2 legs. I think most Forest fans will agree with that if they're being sensible. Right, but it is a cup game, knockout, you don't know what's coming. But if we get to the final, right, it's just about can we play the occasion? Because that's my only concern, right? Is that and Sam from the Villa Park podcast talked about it as we were walking back.
Yeah, right, spoke about it. There was also a guy from the Villa Vibes when we were on the round table with Villa Park podcast, and he was saying Villa's toughest opponent is themselves. It's very much the case of if we get in our own heads and we can't rise to the occasion and we basically implode, that's what's going to do it. That's what's going to do us in. And I think every Forest fan really must be. I don't want to downplay Forest, but it's very much a case of on paper and generally over 2 legs, we should get past Forest. Forest are the team I didn't want to play for multiple reasons. Boring. It doesn't feel like a European tie. I got a away trip to Nottingham. At least it's nice and close, so it's quite easy if I can get a ticket.
Yeah.
For me, it's a derby day.
Oh, just say that. Hold that thought. If anyone can get us tickets, right, we really want to go. So please, if you've got any spares or know anyone that can hook us up, drop us in the comments. Let us know. DM us, please, 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 please.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, because it's basically my local ground, so it's quite easy for me to get to. What was I saying? Yeah, derby day for me. The fact that I actually think at the start of the tournament, I was like, us and Forest are the two best teams in it. Personally,
yeah, I agree.
So I'm just like, this is the next hardest team. They did struggle a bit against Porto. Obviously, Porto went down to 10 men early on, and Porto also hit the bar twice in the second half. I don't know if you saw that. So, and their goal was Forest goal was a deflection. They have had a few injuries in that game, by the way. I don't know how long or how bad they are with Murillo, Cho, and Milenkovic. He got injured from the sending off for Bednarek.
So, and of course, they're battling to stay in the league, right? They
are. I mean, I don't know how much that is going to play into that semi-final, but we shall see. But yeah, I mean, on paper, we should be making it to that final, and then it is all about, can we play the occasion, or is the occasion going to get too much for us? Yesterday, it did not. Yesterday, we did not disappoint. Like, no, I mean, let's go through the goals. Let's go through the goals. Obviously, that early one from Ollie Watkins. What a lovely move! Lovely football.
I thought it was, mate, it was incisive. And this is for Buendia's had a bit of stick recently because he hasn't probably performed as he has during the, that 11-game winning streak. But yes, last night I thought it's a perfect example of what his strengths are in tight spaces, mate. Like, just in and around when he gets it right in terms of 1-2 touch football, like his link-up play, even being the build to the goal, like he little back heel to Rodgers to run on, then a little 1-2 with Tielemans, back to Rodgers, 1-2. It was total football, and you could see by Unai Emery's celebration, like, that's Emery ball. Right, if you go back to, it's similar to when we scored that goal against Man City or against Arsenal, we won 1-0. The way the ball's moved from the back to front to an end product is kind of what Emery wants. We don't do it often enough, but it takes me back, and we talked about this before, back to the 23-24 season. We scored so many goals like that, like little interactions in and around the box and cutbacks with tap-ins. It was. It's not all I want to see goals, because sometimes we overplay and it doesn't always come off. But last night, perfection, mate. I think as a football match goes, couldn't have asked for any more. The game, first goal, killed it off. Yeah, it was just to sit back and enjoy, right?
Ollie Watkins' 100th goal for Aston Villa in all competitions. It's a brilliant milestone to hit. I think it's the first since Peter McPartlin in the 60s.
Yeah.
So, you got to give him his dues there, mate, if I'm honest. I mean, obviously, Sam was joking next to me, but there's truth in it. He was saying about bloody time. Like, he's been at the Villa for how long?
6 years. 6 years, mate. And even Ollie, after the game, to be fair, when they presented him with a shirt, Watkins 100, and he said, "It's about time." Now, I'm just been looking for the stat about how many games it's done. Now, the only one I can find, the Premier League page, which hasn't updated yet overnight, probably, is that he'd scored 84 goals in 215 games. Right now,
you asking about how many appearances it's taken to get to 100?
Yeah.
260 something. It's 260 something appearances. So they said on TalkSport last night it was 260. I remember going, oh, okay, so it's all like, it's like 2.5 almost. But so taking 260 appearances. But
it's roughly a goal every 3 games, or 2.6.
2.5.
Yeah, almost, right? So you kind of, I don't know, is that good enough? I just, in terms of...
It averages out about right, doesn't it, for him at the moment? It averages out to like, what, in a Premier League season, 13 goals.
Yeah.
So 13, 16 goals, that kind of level. And that's what he's been hitting. So it's about right, I suppose, for him.
Well, either way, mate, I'm just going to be... I'm going to put my Watkins hat of negativity over there, right? And just say congratulations, Ollie. 100 goals in the Premier League, regardless of how long it's taken, is a fantastic achievement, mate. I'm absolutely buzzing for you. I really, really sincerely hope that this guy now can just turn that on in the Premier League, because last night and last week against Bologna, he was unplayable, mate. He was. All the attributes of holding the ball up, stretching the defence, he did it perfectly last night and last week. Against Forest, he really struggled. Didn't do that, right? And this is what I'm talking about, the golfing difference between European football and the Premier League, right? So, and if he can now follow that up with a performance on Sunday against Sunderland and get us over the line, mate, I just, he's got a real chance of pushing on and getting himself on the plane for the World Cup and getting us over the line in the Europa League, right? It's all about being clinical. I've said it time and time again. You can talk about being hungry. I love that interview last week. I really did. The passion shone through, and that's what you want from your players, right? But it's more than words. You've got to show the actions on the pitch. So on Sunday, what I'd love to see from Ollie is just a real shift, but in whether he scores or not, but just the same sort of level of running and physicality against the Premier League defences, rather than where you're given a little bit more time on the ball with the European. I mean, Bologna was strange yesterday. It was like 2v2, and Emery did it really well. He put Rodgers and Watkins together. I thought Rodgers and Watkins, actually, for the first time in a long time, when we played that, we've done that before, by the way, but they're usually miles apart. Yesterday, they looked a little bit closer, and so they were able to feed off each other a little bit more. And I'm like, even in my head last night, I didn't say it to you, but I was like, why don't they do that more? It works. That's the whole point, right? It's to put, if you have to up and you put on either touchline. If someone wins something, there was countless, you don't get anything, but countless times yesterday, there were little flick-ons from Wally, little flick-ons from Rodgers, where we got the ball and then it progressed us up the pitch.
It was what they were doing last season. It was closer to what they were doing last season. Like, because we had the issue, didn't we, in those first games at the start of this season, and we were saying they're just too far apart. Rodgers is holding onto the ball for too long. He's not playing Ollie in, and it just wasn't working. Whereas, when they're that little bit closer together, we're playing things at a little bit quicker pace. We just look dynamite. I thought we looked really, really good. Obviously,
I really enjoyed last night, mate. I came away and I've still got a bit of a buzz about it. Woke up this morning feeling fine. Got Emery on my mind. Anyway, it's going like it.
Anyway, only one downer for me on the game. That Morgan Rodgers penalty miss. It's frustrating, isn't it? Why can't we just have someone that just buries penalties?
Well, look. This is the biggest concern. Let's say we get to the final. We have to win the final in 90 minutes.
Yeah, because of penalty shootout, we've got no chance.
Mate, we can't. No one. Why can't any of our players take penalties? I don't understand.
Take them? I feel like McGinn would just leather it.
I think McGinn or Tielemans, mate, both just fucking go and do. But I think Rodgers was. I think he hadn't scored in like 13 games or something prior to yesterday, and I think it's a confidence thing, right? Give him the ball, get him on the score sheet. Thankfully, 30 minutes after that penalty miss, he fucking smashed it, right? But
near post,
mate, near post. What was that keeper doing? Like the penalty, like it's like for the 2 goals, it's like 3 goals out of the way.
3 goals over 2 games. We banged it near post.
Mate, I'm convinced that goalkeeper, right, had a bet on himself. Right, I said to you, didn't I? And I was like, I'm going to save a penalty and let 2 in at the near post. Fucking odds on. Like, it's just unbelievable. But no, look, Rodgers, we kind of went in on about in the Forest game, saying he looked a little bit lazy and lethargic, and that was probably justified criticism. But I think last night he looked a little bit more up for it, And again, I just. It's disappointing because it's easier to do that against lesser opposition. Do you know what I mean? I think now we're at the business end of the season. Like Forest, not just Forest, but in every game in the Premier League is going to be tough, right? So it's about that work rate and that extra kind of just, if it's not working for you, but just give it the extra mile in your work rate, like close stuff down. He gets away with it against Bologna. He doesn't have to maybe trap back as much or close down as much, right? So you get away with it. Whereas against Premier League teams, if you don't do it, you get exposed, man. It's like teams take advantage. So, look, and that's for the Sunderland games on Sunday. We'll get into that another time. But I think for last night, I just thought it was excellent from start to finish, mate. Really controlled. 3-0 up half time. After the penalty miss, we kind of, the third goal. Was a prime example.
Mate, I didn't realise it happened. I literally spent 2 seconds. Because you've gone for a corner, right? And usually we all sit down. So I was literally just looking back. Oh no, gone for throwing. I was literally just looking back. I was just about to sit down. And then all of a sudden everyone jumps up. And I was like, what the fuck have I just missed?
No, that was the second goal, mate. That was Buendia's goal. That was the second goal. It was after the penalty miss. The third goal was...
Yes, you're right. Too
many
goals.
But no, you're right. In terms of again, just that in application, didn't switch off, ball went out, quick throw. Emi Buendia works a bit of magic. Again, keeper should save it, mate. Should never be beaten at the near post. And it's football heaven, isn't it? Emi Buendia. Right, I've just got songs going through my head, mate. I'm buzzing.
Yeah.
And then the third goal was typical Villa. Like we've spoke about this in many games this season where Martinez has got the ball and he just holds on to it too long, and there's an opportunity to put Watkins in, or there's an opportunity to put some, and it doesn't go, and then we play out from the back, and it's like fucking hell, the opportunity's gone now, they're set. But he picked his spot. He plays a wonderful ball to Ollie. Ollie actually does really well. Like he muscles into the defender and then rolls in, and he's through. He holds the ball well, plays a wonderful ball into McGinn, who plays it out to Rodgers. One touch out of his feet, bang across into the near post. It was scintillating football, mate. That is how that's exactly what you do, right? It's kind of when we played it perfectly, and McGinn just gets it, mate. Right, so as soon as that ball goes, I watched him, and he comes in from the left because he knows as soon as Watkins peels, and that's what we've missed massively in the games where he hasn't played. That anticipation, that kind of just being in those little pockets of space in the 10 position, whoever it is, like Buendia, McGinn, and you can't defend against it when it's like that. Like it's a pleasure to watch. And yeah, game over, half time, 3-0, mate, 6-1. Like at half time, you just go in. Just make changes now. That was my only criticism of Unai Emery.
Yeah, he didn't do it, did he? I mean, in the end, rightfully, like it wasn't a problem, right? Like as in,
well, yeah, no bookings, no injuries,
no injuries. It was all fine. But obviously, you are just dicing. You're playing a little bit of risk there.
I just worry a little bit about team morale, right? For the players that aren't getting a sniff, right? So I understand you got to, but like for Tammy, to sign him and I get it. Second strike or whatever, but to give him 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, like
thankfully he got half an hour yesterday, didn't
he? Yeah, but it was. He could have made it at half time.
The game was done, right? But like, I think, to be fair, on his morale though, he was really like he looked really like the end of the game.
Yeah.
He's jogging on. He's really happy.
Yeah.
He's definitely like camaraderie wise, he's there.
I think camaraderie was, yeah. I think he's that, but I think in terms of your own mentality, it must play an effect. Like, and how much impact is he going to have in games when he knows he's not really going to get anything? Like he got it yesterday because the game was.
Got assist.
He did flick on and for Ezri Konsa. So we'll give him his plaudits there. I just wish we had more of a system to utilise him a little bit. I'm not like start Watkins by all accounts, he's in a run of form, but like if it's not working, like the Forest game, he could have come on sooner. Like, yesterday he could have come on at half time. Well, he's got his goal, 100 goals, let him celebrate. Like the game's comfortable, we're not going to lose. Give him 45 minutes to go out there and try and get himself a goal, right? Okay. And I just, it worries me that in the moments when we need something, like if it is the final and Watkins isn't firing and doesn't get there, and he doesn't make a change to the 80th minute, how much of an impact is Tammy really going to have? I don't know, but it's minor critiques, right? We just kind of the job is done ultimately, and Emery knows best. But it's the same with Maatsen. I feel for Maatsen. I think Dina didn't have a bad game yesterday. He didn't really have much to do. If I'm honest, Bologna didn't really offer anything. Going that they took off their best player, number 10, at half time, probably to rest because the game was over. They've got probably a game at the weekend, and then Maatsen for me just offers a little bit more than Dina at the moment.
Me and Sam were saying because you had Digne bombing up the left wing. We're like, well, if you're going to do that, play Maatsen.
Yeah.
You don't. That's not why you play Digne. You play Digne if you want to play a more kind of contained, more slightly defensive set. Whereas he was bombing up the wing, and we were like, why is he on the pitch?
Yeah.
But
like, as far as the subs would go, it was great to see Sancho back. I thought he looked lively when he came on again. Good feet, kind of moves the ball quickly. Hopefully he'll play a part in the latter part of the season. I think it will probably be from substitute appearances because I think that starting lineup for me, just Maatsen instead of Digne, is the lineup you go into any game against.
Right? I fully expect Sunday to be no changes again.
Yeah, right. I just wish Maatsen was there, and then you've got Sancho to come on and do some damage if he's up for it, right? Yeah. The only player that again I've got to go in on, mate, has got to be I don't understand it. I feel for everybody else within the world of football and at Villa, when Leon Bailey gets the nod, even I just sank and sat into my seat and was like, fuck, no, why? Why?
So Sam was interesting. Sam's very good. He's like, oh, I think he's doing all right. I think he's all right. I was like, this season, really? And he was like, well, he hasn't played. I was like, no, he has. He did. He has. And he was on loan. And last season. And then he was basically just saying, the season we got Champions League, he was like, Leon Bailey. He was like, Leon Bailey was the reason. He said, Leon Bailey was literally the reason we got Champions League, was what he was saying. And I was like, yeah, but that was 2 seasons ago. I was like, that doesn't mean you just keep playing him when he's playing terribly. I mean, he came on. Yeah, okay, he's always fun of running, and to be fair to him, he always makes the run. He always keeps making.
No, I'm sorry, right? He came on, and the first thing he did, right? He was in front of the defender, and a ball played over the top, and he just stood still, right, while the defender walked past him and ran it. And I went, "What the fuck are you doing? You're coming on with fucking 20 minutes to go, right? And you just not even like, mate. That shit infuriates me because."
The thing that more infuriated me was just the classic. The ball was played from short, and it kind of bounced off him. And we were like, and then he's running down the wing, and he just ends up running into players, and then just gets ball. And it's like, what are you doing, mate? Like, come on, look up,
just be ready. Just be ready. That first one, just challenge for the ball. Don't let the defender win it. If you don't win it, fine, but at least challenge for it, and then. Let's not talk about his first touch on the edge of the area where that ball's played into him. He's got no one around him with 10 yards and he fucking hits it. Mate, has he even played football before? What is going on? These are Premier League, Europa League. Mate, it's inexcusable for me that when you've got other players on the bench waiting to come on. Like, I know Harvey Elliott's going to be gone at the end of the season, but you can't tell me Harvey Elliott's not better than that, right, as an option. Even when he's played, he's looked up for it, and he looks a little bit like he's got fire in his belly. Leon Bailey looks like he's on the beach all of the time, and like he doesn't give a fuck, and it does my head.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't. The Bailey thing does just. It's kind of bizarre. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't see him being here after this summer if we can get someone to take him.
Fucking better not be, mate. He's got to go.
It's more about whether someone will take him, mate. It's not about if we want him. It's about whether someone will take him, pay his wages, and actually pay some kind of money for him. The thing is with Harvey Elliott, I understand the Harvey Elliott thing, but in that game yesterday, for instance, it was completely pointless bringing him on. We'd won the game.
Yeah.
He's not going to be here next season. We're not developing him for anything. We don't owe him anything. Like, it's literally like we just bring him on. It'd just be like, there you go, Harvey, have a little run out. But it's pointless. It would completely pointless. I would have actually rather just like put whatever youngster we can on. Like,
but not, mate, whatever. It's another option apart from Bailey. Anyone but Bailey. Right? You've got options to use. And I said to you before the game, right, that loyalty is a brilliant thing in football if you can find it, because it's so rare, right? So having someone that's loyal to you and and I get it, and it can be a major strength in most teams, but it can also be your biggest weakness because you don't see things when you need to move on, and it's no disrespect to the player. It's just it hasn't worked. Like I was really hopeful when we brought him back in January. You've got an opportunity now, Leon, to go out there and show us the 23-24 Bailey. And even if it just comes down to just seeing your work ethic, just seeing that, just forget about the football and what your numbers are. What's your attitude towards the team? How are you performing? And since he's come back in January, mate, I shit you not, there's been probably 6 games that he's played in where everything he's done has turned to shit. Like he couldn't not control the ball, give the ball away, not follow runners. All the basic stuff that you can work on and you can control, he's not controlling. And for me, that's a kick in the teeth to any young players that are sitting on the bench if you're picking him week in, week out, and he's still doing that shit. If he's performing, fine. If we get the 23-24 Bailey, I'm all for it, mate. Fucking put him in. He was brilliant. But this version of Leon Bailey does not work for Aston Villa. He has to go. It's just a waste of everyone's time and money. Right?
I think he will. The only reason, like I said, Sancho would have started if he was not coming back from an injury. So like I just don't see him being here past the summer.
Yeah.
I think it's a moot point. Is that a moot?
Moo point. Moot or moo? Is it moo? Moo. No, it's moot. It's on Friends, it's moo.
It's a Cal's opinion, isn't it? Cal's opinion.
It's a moo point.
And then finally, onto Ezri Konsa's goal. Now,
yes, mate.
Lovely finish, mate. What a little
mate.
Look, turning it. And I tell you what, have you seen that meme where? Because obviously he scored in the quarterfinal. He scored in the first leg, and then it was like it came up going like, it's like I don't score goals unless it's in a European quarterfinal, and it's sat there. He's got like a beer on the table or something.
Yeah,
and I was just like hoping for that to resurface.
Yeah, mate. 2 in 2. I mean, he's more prolific than Ollie almost.
It was a lovely turn hit.
Mate, we had a great angle of it, and it's up in the air, and you go, mate, just hit it, and he's just swiveled, and it's just so early, takes the keeper by surprise. It was just a wonderful finish, mate, and just Ezri Konsa doing Ezri Konsa things. We got centre halves who can score like that. That's not a bad technical finish.
There was a moment, wasn't there, where we had, I think, who was it? Someone was running. I think it was, might be Watkins or Rogers was running back, basically at like centre back position. And then the ball ended up coming back forward, and he had Pau Torres picking it up basically at like the 10. And then he was picking it up, and then I think Ezri did like this nice little kind of like little dummy kind of thing. Took a player out, tried to play Torres in, and I was like, our centre backs are playing like. It was what?
Yeah, it was, and I think we have to give a shout out to Pau. I think again, look, I think the shout out to Pau because I thought. This all stems from Tielemans and McGinn coming back to the team. It enables players like Pau to play their best football because what McGinn and Tielemans do so well is just containment. Like we don't like I've said so many times. Pau with the game in front of him is one of the best centre backs in the Premier League. He's so good with the ball. He can carry the ball, and he proved that last night. It's when he gets his back turned to goal, we all know he lacks pace, right? So it's kind of. It can be a concern, but with those two in midfield, those balls aren't getting played in behind. It's just not happening. It doesn't happen, right? And with Onana as well, clearing stuff up. Onana was immense yesterday, like making tackles clear again, similar to what he did on Forest on Sunday, what he did last week. He really has with these players, these Onana, Torres, they just seem to raise their level. Because they're not, I guess, worried about certain things happening, so they can just focus. So it's fucking top stuff, mate. I'm buzzing.
I'm very happy. Good performance, brilliant result. 4-0 in a quarter-final of the Europa League, mate. 7-1 and
1.
Look, absolutely. For anyone that was like, we were going into this game, and I was going to this game and going, this won't be easy. This is going to be a tough one. It's going to be tight. But you were right. You were like, go strong, get an early goal, kill the tie, completely collapsed. And it was absolutely brilliant to watch.
And me and Unai Emery thinking along the same lines. Who'd have thought that? That's never happened.
Yeah, exactly. Holy shit. I'm already starting to look at Istanbul flights. I don't want to get carried away, but I'm trying to get them flexible so that if just in case the worst happens. But I think I was going to try and go with the father-in-law because I was like, regardless of if it's Forest or Villa, he'd want to go. But he's in Madeira.
I need to have a serious conversation. We've joked about it on TikTok, right? That they said if I get to 10k followers, then I'm going to Istanbul. So
honestly, why is it you get a jacket if you get to 10? So you got an IOU on a jacket.
Do you know why? Because it's not easy to get to 10k followers on TikTok.
Oh no, it isn't.
So I think it's just about if a celebratory of doing that, right? That's all it is, right? So it's a massive ask, right? But if we do that, maybe I can convince Sarah Bennett to kind of get me a new passport and get out there to Istanbul because I'd love to go, mate. I'd love to be there. Like you say, 1982. You were -7.
No
margaritas, mate. If that's the deal, right? Just no margaritas and drink shandy. I'm all in, right? Do you know what I mean? If we win it, I'm drinking margaritas, mate, until I fucking die.
If I'm honest, I've never I think maybe later on tonight it get a bit ropey, but I don't think I'd want to get drunk. I'd want to
enjoy the
I'd want to experience it.
Yeah, I'm like that at football anyway. I've never understood when you go to an actual game. If we win it, mate, afterwards I'm celebrating till the cows come home. But before the game and during, I'm not. I want to be focused and watch the game. 100%.
It's like, what's the point?
I'll have a couple of beers, but mate, final thoughts then, dude. I think it's this. That was a statement of intent for me. 7-1 in the Europa League quarter-final. that has to be a statement, and it has to be something we can build on in going forward and going all the way. Forest over 2 legs next. I think if we get a result at the City Ground, just don't lose the game, or even if we lost the game 1-0, I'd fancy just to come back to Villa Park and get the job done. I don't see that happening. I think Forest are going to hate this tie. A couple of Forest fans I spoke to online yesterday were like, it'd be great to see you in the semi-final, but I think you'll do us over 2 legs. And they're talking about the quality of the football that has been played over the season. But we all know in knockout football, it doesn't matter. Form's out the window. It's about who wants it most. And I just think since we've had McGinn and Tielemans come back, there's a little turn in our form, and our uprising is coming back. I think we've got the minerals, like we did with that 11-game unbeaten run, to go and do that again. And people are firing. Watkins is scoring. We're getting goals from midfield. Rodgers has scored again yesterday after 13. So hopefully this could be the catalyst, mate. 1 game at a time, but we can do it.
There's something, I'll try and find the stat for next time, but Sam was telling me yesterday something about Villa in Europe, like the wins, the amount of wins. I think the only team, he said something about the only team that has got more wins in us than in Europe. I don't know if it's ever, or I guess it's not ever. I guess it's just like over the Emery period or something. Is Bayern Munich. Like literally, we're equal with Real Madrid. Like we're
it's mad, isn't it?
In Europe, we are mental, madness, and obviously with a man like Unai Emery at the helm, fully expect us hopefully to get over that line. But
come on, mate, I'm starting to believe.
Yeah, this is when it gets you in it. It's the hope that kills you, mate. It's when you start to
so close to greatness. We're so close to greatness, people. Come on,
something amazing.
Oh. Anyway, right, okay. Look, big weekend coming up. We move on to Sunderland. Let's hope we can take that performance from last night into that game on Sunday and get 3 points and put our foot in the Champions League spots as well. It's going to be emotional. We'll see you at Villa Park. And as always, every week we follow the boys in claret and blue. Peace.
See ya.